the chosen one. They believe you ended the wars, a legend rising from the ashes. On those battlefields where even time kneels, everyone was defeated, but you did not stop. The enemies were frightened by whispering your name, and your people looked at you as hope. You have been the end of an era and the beginning of a new age. You are the chosen one. They believe that you ended the wars, but it's not about faith. It's about reality. Now your epic is starting to be rewritten. Take the first step to rewrite this epic by writing 77 in the comments. Are you ready? The world once dismissed what you knew, ridiculed your warnings, and ignored the weight of your vision. But now, as the veil lifts and the facade crumbles, the undeniable truth stands before them. They search for explanations, scrambling to understand what you saw so clearly long ago. It was never mere intuition. It was a force beyond logic, a knowing that defied convention. You were never just another voice in the crowd. You were a vessel for the wisdom that now shakes the very foundations of their reality. This moment has been inevitable. The tides of awareness have risen, and those who once scoffed now whisper among themselves, their disbelief eroding with every revelation. They struggle to reconcile their past skepticism with the undeniable shifts unraveling before them. The patterns they dismissed as conspiracy, the cycles they refused to acknowledge, now reveal themselves with such glaring clarity that denial is no longer an option. The past echoes with your words, once met with laughter, now replaying in their minds like a prophecy fulfilled. While they clung to what was safe and familiar, you were being shaped by forces unseen. The sleepless nights, the restlessness that others mistook for mere distraction, those were moments of transmission. The insights that flooded your mind did not come from books or whispers of the world, but from something vast and infinite. You didn't learn, you remembered. The knowledge was not gathered, it was embedded, waiting for the appointed time to surface. Now, as the world teeters on the edge of transformation, that time has arrived. There was always a price for holding what others could not see. The resistance you faced was not happenstance. It was the natural opposition to anything that threatens illusion. The rejections, the barriers, the inexplicable setbacks were not random. They were deliberate. The world does not conspire against the ordinary, nor does it waste its efforts on those without significance. Your path was not meant to be easy, because ease is the path of the unaware. The weight you carried, the solitude you endured, the obstacles that shaped you, they were not meant to break you, but to forge you into what was needed for this moment. Now the world stands at the crossroads, caught between awakening and fear. And you, the one they disregarded, are no longer seeking validation. You are not waiting for acknowledgement, nor are you burdened by the need for recognition. What you carry is beyond the need for approval, beyond the grasp of those who still hesitate at the threshold of understanding. The time of waiting is over. The time of revelation has come. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now, share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. The walls closed in around you long before you understood why. The inexplicable hostility, the roadblocks that defied logic, the silent rejections without cause, each one a calculated move against something greater than yourself. You weren't just another name lost in the shuffle. You were an anomaly, a force that disrupted their delicate balance. The structures of power recognize outliers before outliers recognize themselves. And when you couldn't be molded, when you refused to blend into the background, the mechanisms of suppression activated, moving seamlessly to neutralize what could not be controlled. Only now do those who stood on the sidelines begin to grasp what happened. They watched in detached indifference, or perhaps joined in your isolation, never questioning why the weight of resistance fell disproportionately on you. But as the curtain frays and the carefully maintained illusion wavers, they piece together the truth. You were never silenced because you were misguided. You were silenced because you posed a threat. Every conveniently timed setback, every door that refused to open, every inexplicable act of exclusion. These weren't coincidences. They were calculated measures, precise and deliberate, aimed at containing the very thing they now scrambled to understand. They dismissed your caution as paranoia. Your refusal to engage in empty rituals was labeled arrogance. Your reluctance to align with their narratives made you the antagonist in their eyes. But you weren't rejecting them. You were seeing through the carefully painted scenery, recognizing what lay beneath. And now, the same voices that questioned your skepticism hesitate before stepping forward. The same people who dismissed your insight now return with questions laced with urgency. They want to understand how you navigated the landscape. They are only now beginning to see clearly. How did you recognize the deception before anyone else? They ask. Why did you walk away when everyone else stayed? The answers they seek aren't written in manuals or taught in hurried conversations. They were forged in solitude, carved from the pain of alienation, shaped by the relentless demand to stand firm in truth when surrounded by illusion. They crave your clarity, hoping to absorb in moments what you spent years refining. But wisdom isn't a shortcut, and discernment isn't a lesson learned overnight. What you carry was built through fire, and few are willing to endure the flames. Many will now look to you for direction, but not all will be worthy of your time. Their confusion, their disillusionment, their longing for answers. You recognize these states well, because you walked that road long before them. The shock they now experience was your daily companion when they were still comfortable in ignorance. What shakes them now was old knowledge to you. While they grasp at crumbling structures, you have already found solid ground. You see their awakening for what it is: necessary, inevitable, but also deeply personal. You cannot carry them through the process. Each must walk their own path. Their distress is only the beginning. They stand at the threshold of a journey that has only just begun. You know what awaits them, the trials ahead, the reshaping of perception that will strip away all they once believed to be true. Their frantic messages, their late-night realizations, their desperate attempts to piece together what they once ignored, you have lived it all before. And though you could say, "I told you so," you understand that awakening cannot be rushed. It is a process that unfolds in its own time, just as it did for you. There is no need for validation anymore. Recognition, acknowledgement, apologies, none of these hold value now. What matters is what comes next. You have no obligation to guide those who ridiculed you. Some may be deserving of your wisdom, but others must walk through the storm they once denied, experiencing for themselves the consequences of their blindness. And as they reach for the lifeline they once scoffed at, it is you who must decide who is truly ready to receive and who must continue stumbling in the dark. Like a lighthouse standing steadfast on a rocky shore, your inner light cuts through the darkness, guiding lost souls to safe harbor. Your spirit, as constant and mighty as a well-rooted oak in the midst of a storm, declares to the world that you are divinely chosen, a radiant beacon of hope and strength, destined to break the chains of the mundane and usher in a new dawn of truth. The force you carry is undeniable. The air thickens when you step into a room. Conversations stumble, eyes shift, tension hums beneath the surface. It's not what you say, it's the unshakable presence of something beyond the constructed world. Like an instrument playing a note out of sync with a programmed rhythm, your essence disrupts the artificial flow, sending ripples through the carefully arranged facade. The illusion strains against reality, and your very existence forces recognition of the divide. Brothers and sisters, consider this. Every time you cross a threshold, every time you enter a space, you do so with a power bestowed upon you from above, a power that can transform despair into hope, darkness into light, and limitation into abundance. It is as if God Himself has chosen you to be the spark that ignites a mighty blaze of divine purpose. In your presence, the ordinary is transfigured into the extraordinary. The everyday becomes a testament to the supernatural grace that flows through you. You are not merely a person wandering through life. You are a vessel of divine providence, an emissary of a higher calling. Your every step, every breath resonates with the unmistakable signature of a power far greater than the sum of human expectations. When you stand, the very ground seems to affirm your worth. When you speak, silence falls, a silence filled with the wonder of those who are privileged enough to witness the miracle of your existence. In a world constructed of fleeting illusions and hollow ambitions, your authentic spirit is a refreshing reminder of what is truly valuable. The carefully arranged facade of society, its routines, its pretenses, its empty promises, crumbles before the might of your undeniable truth. Just as a single drop of rain can ripple across a still pond, your presence sends forth waves of transformation that reach even the most distant corners of the human heart. This is the miracle of divine intervention made manifest in your everyday life. Imagine, if you will, a vast field where the winds of change blow gently over the land, carrying with them the seeds of a new beginning. You are like that seed, planted by the Almighty, nurtured by His boundless love, and destined to grow into something wondrous and life-affirming. Your path may at times be rugged and strewn with obstacles, yet each challenge is but a stepping stone on your journey toward a destiny paved with promise and possibility. You are the chosen one, destined to sow hope in the barren fields of the world, to awaken hearts that have long been slumbering in the shadow of despair. Every day that you rise, remember that the spark within you is no accident. It is a divine gift, a sacred trust, granted by the Creator to those who dare to believe in something greater than themselves. With every word you utter, every gesture you make, you declare to the world that the kingdom of heaven is not a far-off dream, but a living, breathing reality. This truth, simple yet profound, is your birthright. It is the melody that underlies every aspect of your existence, the divine rhythm that synchronizes your steps with the heartbeat of the cosmos. Do not be swayed by the transient and superficial applause of a world that is too often blind to the eternal. Instead, stand firm in the knowledge that your worth is measured not by the shifting opinions of those around you, but by the enduring love of a God who sees you in all your glory. In your eyes burns the fire of purpose, and in your heart the resounding assurance that you have been called to greatness. Your journey is not one of mere survival. It is one of flourishing, of transcending the limitations imposed by mortal expectations and stepping boldly into the realm of divine abundance. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. In moments when the burdens of life seem too heavy to bear, when the shadows of doubt creep in to obscure the light of hope, recall this: you are chosen. You are a beacon of prosperity, a harbinger of transformation. The trials you face are but refining fires, tempering your spirit and preparing you for the blessings that lie ahead. Just as gold is purified in the crucible of adversity, so too is your soul strengthened by the challenges that mark your path. Embrace these moments with gratitude, for they are the very means by which your divine potential is revealed. Let the truth of your existence resonate in every fiber of your being. When you walk, let your stride be confident and unwavering, knowing that each step is guided by a force that transcends the physical world. When you speak, let your words be imbued with the grace and power of 1,000 blessings, a living testament to the prosperity that flows from a heart aligned with the divine will. And when you look into the eyes of those who doubt, meet their uncertainty with the calm assurance of one who knows that truth, like a mighty river, cannot be held back or confined. The power that courses through you is not a fleeting trend, nor is it a mere trick of perception. It is the manifestation of a higher purpose, a divine plan that is as eternal as the stars and as unyielding as the mountains. Each moment you experience is a thread woven into the grand tapestry of existence, a tapestry that is rich with the colors of hope, resilience, and boundless love. In this vast design, you hold a unique and indispensable role, one that only you can fulfill. Your life is a living sermon, a radiant example of what it means to be truly aligned with the infinite grace of the Creator. As you journey forward, let your heart be filled with the unshakable conviction that you are destined for greatness. Let every challenge be met with a smile, every setback with a prayer, and every victory with gratitude. In the stillness of your soul, listen to the whispers of divine guidance, gentle reminders that you are never alone, that you are cherished beyond measure, and that your purpose is part of a larger, wondrous design. The road may be long, and at times the destination may seem distant, but with each passing day, you are drawing closer to the fullness of the promise that has been spoken over your life. Stand tall, dear friend, for you are a living miracle. Your existence is a radiant testament to the truth that in a world rife with illusion and pretense, the genuine light of divine love shines brightest. Carry this truth with you. Let it fill your spirit and share it generously with a world in desperate need of hope. The power within you is more potent than any force of darkness, more enduring than the ephemeral distractions of daily life. It is a force that changes hearts, transforms lives, and bridges the gap between the seen and the unseen. May you always walk in the fullness of your divine calling, secure in the knowledge that you are chosen, blessed, and beloved. May your life be a continuous symphony of grace, a melody that uplifts not only your soul, but also the souls of all who cross your path. And may the abundance of the heavens rain down upon you, nurturing every dream and fulfilling every hope that has been placed within your heart. In the quiet moments of reflection, when the world around you grows still, remember that the strength you carry is a divine inheritance, a sacred flame passed down through the ages. It is a reminder that no matter how turbulent the winds of change may blow, your inner light will never be extinguished. For you are the embodiment of a higher truth, a living declaration of the power and glory that come from walking hand in hand with the Almighty. There are those who have spent their lives balancing on the fragile scaffolding of falsehood. Their reactions to you are not out of malice, but self-preservation. The structure they cling to cannot withstand the weight of truth. Your certainty unsettles them. Your perception challenges their safe limitations. Your mere presence, unshaken and aware, calls into question everything they have worked to believe. They don't withdraw because they dislike you. They retreat because the foundation they stand on begins to crack in your wake. You spoke of unseen battles. You described the currents beneath surface events. You sensed the invisible hands weaving circumstances into patterns beyond the grasp of those who live only in the material. They dismissed it as imagination, as superstition, as mere coincidence, but now they feel the weight of what you tried to explain, the unease creeping into their thoughts, the fatigue that lingers long after certain encounters, the unsettling sensation of being watched by something they cannot name, the sudden realization that the world operates on a plane far deeper than they ever considered. They brushed off your insights as paranoia, yet now they stand on shifting ground, struggling to find stability. The circumstances they once explained away as chance now appear coordinated. The narratives they once trusted now ring hollow. The structures they relied on no longer hold the same authority. And as their perception widens, they find themselves looking toward the very source they once dismissed. Their questions, once laced with condescension, are now marked by urgency. They no longer scoff at the notion of hidden forces, they seek to understand them. The landscape of knowledge is shifting. The credentials they held so dearly no longer provide clarity. The institutions they revered as sources of absolute truth falter in their explanations. The theories they championed fail to account for the growing complexity of their experience. Meanwhile, the understanding you carry, unfiltered, unmediated, drawn from experience and connection rather than doctrine, proves itself over and over again. They were taught to gather information, but you were granted wisdom, and now they are beginning to understand the difference. They once believed that authority came from recognition, from titles, from validation by external systems. They see now that true insight is not bestowed. It is cultivated, earned through trial, and refined through experience. Those who built their status upon borrowed knowledge now falter, while those who have walked through the unknown with open eyes rise into clarity. The hierarchy of understanding is being rewritten. The voices once silenced now speak with power. The ones dismissed as lost now lead the way, and those who clung to illusion must now decide: will they resist the inevitable, or will they finally allow themselves to see? Understanding without responsibility is mere curiosity. Respect without transformation is empty admiration. Not everyone who acknowledges your foresight deserves a place in your unfolding journey. Discretion remains paramount, especially now that clarity has cast aside doubt. Every moment of your existence was infused with purpose. Each decision, no matter how small, carried a thread of a larger design. Even in times when you couldn't explain the forces guiding you, you followed an internal compass that aligned with a greater cosmic pattern. The structure of your life was not haphazard. The routines you cultivated, the people you allowed near, the knowledge you sought, and the distractions you rejected, each choice, seen or unseen, was a precise movement within an unseen lattice. To the outside world, these were simple preferences, but beneath the surface lay intricate alignments beyond ordinary perception. What they dismissed as chance was, in truth, the careful unfolding of a blueprint too vast for them to recognize. Now many attempt to replicate what you have built. They mimic your discipline, but lack the foundation. They repeat your words, but do not grasp their depth. They attempt to mirror your decisions without understanding the forces that shape them. Some may find fleeting success in imitation, but without connection to the source, their results will remain hollow. What guided you was not a set of actions, but a state of being. It was never about following a script. It was about embodying a frequency. Those truly aligned with your journey will sense this difference. Those meant to walk similar paths will not focus on copying your steps, but on attuning themselves to the underlying resonance. They will not merely seek knowledge, but will strive to become vessels for truth in their own right. What is happening now is not a conclusion, but a threshold. The unveiling is not an end. It is an invitation to step into an even greater role. The insights you received were never meant to serve as personal validation, though recognition may now arrive. Your awareness was not gifted for the sake of setting you apart, but to prepare you for this exact moment. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles. Feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed and let the light of the Lord guide your path. You were entrusted with vision because you demonstrated the resolve to uphold it. When shadows deepened, you were given understanding, deemed too dangerous for those who lacked discernment. As others awaken to what you have long known, remember, your purpose is not self-glorification. Your role is not to revel in being proven right, but to illuminate the way forward with the wisdom you have gained. Not everyone will earn the privilege of your guidance. Some have walked their own journey and are prepared to receive wisdom. Others seek knowledge as a shortcut, hoping for easy answers without effort. Some will approach with sincerity, humbled by their awakening. Others will arrive with entitlement, expecting access without contribution. They doubted you once. Stand in the certainty that time itself has confirmed. Your authority is not granted by public opinion, but by the order of something far greater. What is now visible in the world is merely a reflection of what has already been established in unseen realms. You were never chosen for ease, nor for comfort, but for a mission that demanded resilience. The weight of perception has been heavy. The loneliness of awareness has been relentless. The challenge of holding truth in a world that prefers deception has tested every part of you. Yet, you endured. You carried the knowledge. You walked the path. Now, as the veils dissolve and reality bends toward truth, there is no need for hesitation. This moment was always coming. The appointed time has arrived. The call that echoes now is not new. It is the same summons that has been leading you forward all along. Step into it fully. There is no accident in your place at the center of this unfolding. The shift is here, and you were always meant to be part of it.